Hello, everybody. I'm Kanard Lewis, and this right here is the third interview for season 12. And who do we have in the building? Who are you?
They know me.
But do they?
I'm Devin Johnson.
That's what I'm talking about. There we go.
Who am I?
Devin Johnson. So, Devin, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, just a brief intro. What you do, your major, where you're from.
Where do I begin? There's so much. No, there isn't. My name's Devin Joseph Johnson. Grew up in Southside Jamaica, Queens. I'm a audio production major here at SUNY Fredonia. I'm a poet, writer, cinematographer in my spare time. Play little instruments here and there. I love dogs, and that's about it.
Listen, yeah. You know, you talk about cinematography and, you know, being good with your camera skills. What got you into that? What
got me into it? Yeah. I had an internship. It was the BAI internship, and it focused on getting inner city kids or kids of color from high schools or into the nonprofit world or working in the nonprofit world. So me coming from a trade school and all I was exposed to was like engineering and physics and working with mechatronics and programming and stuff. I got in touch with like a lot of artsy kids, and one of these kids I really connected with. I can't even remember her name. She's gonna hate me for this, but she really got me into photography and taking pictures. And over the course of my internship, we didn't have the same work environment, but we did occasionally meet when like kids from that same program met up for workshops and stuff. And whenever we met, she like taught me stuff about like aperture and shutter speed, and that like got me started on my journey with taking pictures. And at my house, we just have a camera lying around that no one used, and I played around with that. And then my brother got me a camera for Christmas recently, and just being with my friends, just taking pictures of them, and I just like capturing moments and being able to reflect on them.
Would you consider that more of just your hobby, or you actually really want to get into, you know, photography? Because, you know, you are an audio radio major, so that's more sound, not visual. But although they do correlate in many aspects, visual and sound, and you know, TV production. So what is your main desire? What do you want to do with your life?
I'm not sure what I want to do. As far as the camera, I definitely feel it as a hobby, but the more and more time I spend at Fredonia, and the more it's becoming like useful to me, like doing photo shoots for people and people paying me money to take pictures of them, and being on executive boards of student organizations and taking pictures of their events. It's becoming so apparent and so often in my life that like it doesn't have to be a hobby. Like I can take it to the next level. I don't see that they have to be I don't see how it doesn't need to be exclusive from my major, because your major doesn't need to put you in a box. I think your major is just another stepping stone, and it provides you another box of tools to work with whatever you want to do in your life. So do I have an idea of how I want them to come together later on in my life? No, but I don't see them as two separate things. What I want to do with my life is I have this. I've had a long conversation with my roommate about this. I want to start again, back to nonprofit. I do want to start a art space center, either in Queens or Brooklyn, back in the city. And I want to make access to art and education in the arts and freedom of expression easily accessible to kids, because there's no reason kids should have to pay $500 to take a violin class, or there's no reason why like kids don't know about or don't have because there's not a lot of, I don't want to say there's not a lot of representation of kids who look like them for kids of color in the media, but like there's just there's a diaspora or a disconnect with
And why do you see that? Why do you think that disconnect even happens? Besides, again, money. Do you think that's just the only reason why, or do you think it's even deeper? Maybe, you know, the media kind of distracting us, or just the culture itself. You know, I don't know. You know, what do you think? Like, I have my ideas, but you know, what are yours?
I don't want to say it's the media, because the media is actually doing a good job of putting arts and music artists at the forefront, and us seeing them every day, and us having a close connection with them through social media. makes people who make a living off of making art and expressing themselves and expressing their own stories or how they view the world, putting that at like the front of our brains, or us having that blasted on our screens. It's not the media's fault for there being a disconnect with art, but like I imagine, I mean, here's an extended metaphor. I imagine like when for kids who aspire to make something out of how they want to express themselves and share it with the world, there's them standing on a cliff, a really large gorge or a really large gap, and then their dream at the end of it, and they don't even know where to start with having to get across that. And I want my eventual art space or dream to help them or be a stepping stone in their journey.
Kind of like giving them the tools, or just giving them the resources.
Yeah, because I just know when I was in middle school and elementary school, I had this one teacher who my life would not be the same without. And I want my art space to do the same, because this teacher, she started with like, her name's Diane Glover. She probably won't ever see this, but just giving her a shout out. She was the one who put me on to just having pride in Black pride. If you guys listen to Debate Hour, she's the one who taught me about not walking with your head down. And she helped me pay for my first ever guitar. She was my public speaking teacher. She taught me how to speak in public. She was the reason who she put me on to poetry writing. She gave me the tools I needed to be per se woke. I say that with quotation marks because you can never be truly woke. There's always more you can learn. Yeah, exactly. But like
you can never be not
ignorant. Right.
Like it's just
right. But
like there's just so much information, you can never know everything.
Right. But to sum it up, like I want to do what I want to do for other kids what she did for me, because
pass on that knowledge,
basically, so it's like my art space, like I want it to be a music studio. I want there to be workshops. I want guest speaking presentations. I want it to be a home. I want it to be a center. I don't want it to just be like one type of thing. So I call it my multi-purpose art space.
That's good. You know, you mentioned poetry, and I know firsthand that this guy's a great poet. Honestly,
Stop.
Nah, it's true. But what got you into poetry? You know, like why? You know, people have their forms of expression.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are rappers, singers. They dance. They even express themselves through even biology or through law or through history. Mm-hmm. Why poetry?
See, it's an odd story because it's not like, oh, I've been writing since I was 5. It's really weird. I don't even know myself. It's actually like in a couple of weeks it will be when I wrote my first like real slam poem, or maybe I think it's either this week or the next week is when I finish writing. It's called Fool's Gold, and it was my AP literature class last year, senior year of high school. Our teacher for our semester project, she wanted us to write a piece of work and submit it to a scholarship program. And she was like, oh, you guys are getting ready to go to college, like scholarships is what you need. And I wrote a piece and I submitted it to her, and she like gave me a lot of feedback on it. It was horrible. But she's a great teacher, and she did it in a really good way of telling me that it was horrible. And then like it was also around that time where like, well, I don't want to say when Black Lives Matter was like in the media, because they're still in the media, but like it was like there was another police brutality killing. I can't remember the name, can't remember who, because there's way too many of them, but probably was around this time of year. And it was like 4 a.m. and I just started writing. And it didn't seem like a poem at first, but when I structured it, reviewed it, it came into a poem. I submitted it for my assignment. I got like a decent grade on it. I think I got like a B plus, A minus on it. And then I won the scholarship. Like I won first place. I didn't expect it. And like, yeah, thank you. It's the only reason why I'm able to go to school. It was expensive. Yeah, it was the Penguin Random House Scholarship, and they're like, oh, you got the Maya Angelou Award, and you got this, and I was like, I was just mad. I was just writing, and then through that scholarship program, I met other writers, and then I started like, people are like, oh, you should go to slams, or you should go to open mics, and you should start sharing your work. And then the more I shared that one poem, the more I realized I had so much more to say, and that poem didn't capture everything that I had to say. So I started writing more stuff, and I started going to more slams, and more poetry events, and more workshops. and it was just like it just like snowballed kind of out of control, but in a good way.
What else do you write about?
Well, I'm trying to step out of the box. I've only been writing for like less than a year now, but so far the poems that like I think are presentation worthy are either capture my intersectionality with being a gay black man, being gay, being black, my relationship with my how are they?
No, like, you know,
how is
not
it?
to say like what is it like to be, you know, a gay black man, but how was it? You know, like how like what struggles did you have to experience? 'Cause obviously it's different for everybody.
Right.
You know, so what did you have to go through that really shaped you in like how you are as Devin Johnson now?
You're definitely right. Everyone has a story. Even another gay black man like
has a different story.
Yeah.
So what's yours? You know, like what have you been through that just shaped you?
I don't want to say I've had it easy, but there definitely are tougher stories out there. It mostly like everyone has their crucible. Everyone has like, well, we have multiple, but everyone like in their developing stages of life have a moment that makes or breaks them into who they're gonna be. And I think mine was in like early high school, late middle school, with who I surrounded myself. And it was back in elementary school and high school where like I surrounded myself with people who like I knew didn't like me, or like I changed who I fundamentally was to be okay with them or to like hang out with them because they were the cool kids or like they were who I were comfortable with. Mm-hmm. But like they would to my face or pick on other people who like act feminine or fit this stereotype of being gay. Like, oh, they would call him a faggot, call him a bati boy. Mm-hmm. And then I like my life is this. Yeah, I think. I was just thinking about it now, like, my life is only the way it is because I get lucky with meeting amazing people because I stopped hanging out with those people because I met someone in my life, a friend of mine, who was also friends with those people, but, like, she made me realize that, like, you don't have to change who you are to be okay with people. Like, you attract the people you want in your life just by being who you are. Yeah. Like,
it's sometimes hard to, you know, change or to just feel that sense of abandonment from people, because you know, again, being a gay black man is hard in itself, and you know
that challenges, yeah,
exactly, because one, you're black, two, you're gay, and it's like you don't want to change, but sometimes society forces you. So what made you again just see your own work? Because yeah, she could have told you that, because I feel like in my life people have. Like my best bro told me that you're valuable, but right. When was that defining moment where you clicked? Was like, I can't be.
I think
can't do that anymore.
I'm just really blessed and lucky that I found the right group of people who was my support, who was my safety net. Because I definitely had I feel like my inner battle wasn't with people and externally. It was definitely with myself, and it was definitely learning to accept myself.
That's an interesting battle.
Yeah, it definitely I had like one or two bullies who would pick on me, and then they were handled, or like I just didn't care. It was mostly like me fighting myself. It was mostly me like wanting to get out of bed in the morning. It was mostly like, should I like even show my face at school? Like I don't feel right. Like I don't feel like a person.
Mm-hmm. And why is that?
I just like it. I don't even, because when I think about it now, I'm just like, wow, I was really dumb. Because of like just how confident I am today, comparing myself to who I am now. I'm just like, wow, I was really like that. Like I don't even recognize the person in the mirror, basically. Just like I wouldn't recognize Devin 5 years ago from me.
I think that sometimes it's very eye-opening. One, because
how far you've come.
Exactly, how far you come, but also it's like, wow, like.
But like as far as like,
I can't believe I was
what that moment was, I don't even think it was one. It was a lot of small instances and a lot of small moments. Again, like me meeting the right people.
Just like a domino.
Yeah, basically, and like that was slowly building like stones, building or bricks, building a stone house. Well, bricks don't make a stone house, but rocks building a stone house, one by one, and making that foundation that you need. A lot of people do have that one defining moment that makes or breaks them. But for me, it was definitely like a series of events. It was like me coming out to my parents, me coming out to my friends. It was me going to my first ever Pride Parade. It was me watching other kids get picked. Because like I'm like what you would say in the community, I can pass. Like, I can pass for straight if I really wanted to. I've been doing it my whole life. Like, I can be feminine, like, hey, girl, hey. But I can also be like, yo, what's good, bro? And, like, I can pass and, like, just, like, be under the radar. If I really, or I could just not talk at all and people would never know.
Do you feel comfortable passing? Or do you, or is it just you being you, and if people think what they want to think, then that's what they want to think?
See, that's another battle I'm having right now with, like, because, like, going to Fredonia, like, I'm from New York City. We do have a large queer population. But, like, being in Southside Queens, it's, like, night and day from downtown Manhattan. And, like, you will never see a gay person, an openly gay person walking in the street unless they're trying to end their life really quickly or be harassed. But going to Fredonia, where it's a safe space and a safe campus, per se, or as much as it can be, I don't know how comfortable I feel like. I feel like there's, like, a quota I need to meet when I'm around, like, other queer people. And then when I'm hanging out with my straight friends, like, something subconsciously switches up. But, like, even today, like, I'm starting to learn to blur the lines and to just be me. I still, like, have a challenge with, like, because, like I said, like, back in middle school, I'd be hanging out with a bunch of guys. And then we would, like, talk about sports. I never watched sports, but I was really good at lying. And we would just talk about, like, stereotypical masculine things. Then I would go to my group of girls or all the girls that I hanged out with, and we would, like, talk about other things. Like, we would talk about guys, and, like, I became really good at switching who I am, switching up. And, like, that became really hard for me in high school when my group of friends started to coalesce, because, like, I would be in a situation where, like, all the girls I hang out with, all the guys I hang out with were, like, in the same place, and, like, I was switch back and forth. And then, like, one of my friends were like, why do you do that? And I was like, what? I was like, you switch up. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you act different. And, like, it comes off as me being shady and me being fake. And in a sense, it is, like, me being fake. It's, like, it's not me, like, it's not me not being who I am, but it's me picking and choosing aspects of my personality.
That you're willing to, like, express.
Yeah, it's like making a caricature of yourself. And to be honest, this interview is, like, the first time where I'm, like, dissecting that. I don't know why I do it, or maybe I do know why, and I'm just afraid of the answer. I do have to meditate on that. I'm gonna have to think about that.
I would always think that sometimes is fear, or it's like, or like there's a pressure, and it's like,
because I'm comfortable with doing that. I'm comfortable with, like, being one person at a time. But, like, being all of Devin at once, because I feel like Devin is a lot. Like, there's a lot beneath the surface that I'm afraid to open the floodgates because I'm afraid of what's gonna come out.
Yeah, because I feel that sometimes we don't realize that we're assimilating, and we are, because it's like this is outside power that's just coming over us. Kind of like when you're two ethnicities, when you're part of two cultures. You know, it's like you're one culture here because you're with those people, right? And you're somewhere with, like, you're just differently with the other group.
You have experience with that.
Exactly. Yeah, me. You know, being black and Puerto Rican, and it's like, you know, it's like, I don't know. It's like, you know,
and you shouldn't have to choose.
Exactly, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
So, you know, talking about choosing.
That's why I hang out with that's why the close friends or the people I choose to hang out with are the people that make me feel like I don't have to choose. Like, or the people who are just comfortable with whatever I do. And that's why, like, because I'm starting to surround myself with those people, I'm starting to learn how to just be Devin instead of straight guy Devin, gay guy Devin, extra Devin, acting Devin, singing Devin, Devin who's in choir, or Devin who likes to strut on a catwalk, and then Devin who likes to run track. Yeah, like,
it's all parts of you.
Yeah, just those are just all different aspects of me that I need to learn how to bring together. Because I'm just having flashbacks now to, like, when I was in the locker room with my track team, and I'm just remembering, like, just, like, me, like, deepening my voice and like, yeah, bro, what's good? Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, we can go to the gym. And then, like, literally 5 minutes later, I would go to the dollar store or the corner store with my friend. We'd go to the deli after leaving track practice. I'm like, yes, bitch, yeah, we're gonna do this. And I'm just like those are, like, within, like, a 10-minute time frame. Yeah, I don't know why I never did acting, actually, like, but then again, like.
But final question. You know, you talk about giving, you know, you want to bridge that gap with kids that don't have those resources. But then again, you do poetry and you express yourself, and, you know, you have this influx in choosing, or this influx in, like, emotion where you're trying to balance out. How do you plan to use your struggles and what you go through to add on to another layer to help out kids who are also kind of not just maybe just battling with being gay or being black, but just battling with just being themselves.
Using my struggles, I would, taking experience from what I've been through, I would be consciously, like, moving forward, I would use that to consciously be aware of, like, everyone has their own story, and everyone, no matter who, has their own battle and their own demons that they're facing. And just being understanding of that, like, has helped me so much with, like, why people act the way they do. Or, like, being understanding of, like, why people act a certain way or why people do certain things. Even people who are snakes, quote unquote, and, like, betray you, like, anger and betrayal and things like that, I feel like are secondary emotions, and they're a response to something going on in their life. And you don't have all the answers, Sway. Like, you don't know what is going on. That's not giving them an excuse. Like, that's like not saying you should. It's just like to.
It doesn't justify, right, but it makes you understand.
Right. It's to help you understand. And like, what was it? I think it was a TV show, or maybe it was a movie. Where was a quote where like, before you can forgive someone, you have to forgive yourself. And that's like, you have to forgive yourself for the fact that you let it happen to you, and you have to understand like why it happened. Or maybe you don't have to understand. You have to be okay with the fact that you don't understand. And like, I think like that's the first step with like moving forward, whether it's through a trauma or a tragedy, or like some own inner struggle. But yeah, to help other kids, I think just understanding like, again, like struggle comes in all shapes and sizes. Like struggle isn't prejudice. And just knowing that there's all different types of avenues to reach out to, and a large variety of people to cater to when it comes to offering them resources and getting access to the arts and getting access to just freedom of expression. I don't want to limit it to just the arts, because there's other ways to express yourself. Yeah. Even though the definition of art is expressing yourself, that's a conundrum in itself. But yeah.
Thank you, Devin.
Anytime, bro.
Much appreciated. You heard it here, folks, from Devin Johnson. Again, you know, I know the world may ask you to choose, but you shouldn't have to. Don't choose. And I know that's easier said than done, but we both experience it, and we both know what it's like to have to pick and choose. Just be yourself, and with time, you'll soon be comfortable with accepting the real you, and then that real you can stand up and be like, yeah, I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Good job.
Exactly. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.